All right, this is going to be Casey Jones by the Grateful Dead. We're going to start out with this riff here. Okay, so we have a hammer from 8 to 10 on the second string as we're playing two of these 8s down here in the bottom two. So you want that hammer to be really tall so you can still hear the 8 underneath ringing as you hit that hammer on. Back to the 8s. Take your 7th fret of the 3rd string, bend it up and down, pull it off. And then 7 on the D to the 8 on the A. Then we have a little hammer on the D, 5 to 7. And then 5, 5 on the G. So we got... Okay, and the other guitar part is doing something with the same type of rhythm, but it kind of different notes and stuff. So these guys were really good at weaving their parts in and out of the other person's parts and making them both have their cool spaces and make the most of what they could do with two guitars, you know? Okay, now we're gonna have part of a C chord. You can kind of hammer into this. You could have like 10, 8, 8. You're hammering into that 9 right away, or you could just kind of hit the chord with the 10, 9, and 8. So we got... This is like an F power chord, 8, 10, 10. Then we're gonna go. So this is 8 and 10 on the D and G strings, sliding down to that 7. And then the second time you'll go to that F bass note, so it's... Now we're gonna go 8 to 9 on the G into that 8s down there on the bottom. Also part of the C chord. So once again, from this verse bit, we got... And again, you can slide that one down sometimes. And then we have our beginning riff again. We got... Okay, now this will be the next verse. We're gonna have... So that kind of goes into a D chord there, from C into a D. So what we have is sliding into the 9 on the A string, to the 7th fret G, and then to the D 9th fret, back to that, and then kind of go to that 9th fret on the D. So it's like... So then we get into an F chord, these 10s. We're gonna go into the 12 on the A string. So quick from the 12 into those middle 10s. And then bum, bum, bum. And then we're gonna to the G chord here. We got... So that's like your honky tonk thing. We got 10 and 12. To that 14 on the D string. Okay, then we're back to C. D chord. And then we have... Okay, so we're gonna slide into the 7 on the D string, and then hit the 6 on the 5th string, and then 7, 5 on the G to 7 on the D. And then we have 5, 7, 4 to 6. And then 5, 7, 5, 4. Okay, so that was... Okay, we're back to another verse. C to F. Now we have a riff. Okay, so that was C to the F. And then this riff. So we're sliding into the 5 on the big one. 3, 5, 3. Go 7 to 5 here. Bend up and down on that 7 on the G. And then back into that C riff. Then we're gonna have the second part of that verse. Then we have our intro riff. Okay, and then there's tons of variations of all this stuff. So this is kind of the basic things to get you going. I think like each verse has like different fills, like completely different than every other verse. So it makes it real interesting. So this one we're gonna go half step up to the C sharp to the D. So we're gonna go. We'll do that little riff, 10 to 11 to the 10s. So we got. C. Little 12 to 10, kind of a little riff after the F. And then we got the little honky tonk G again. And we got. So here we have 9, 7, 9, 7 for that kind of D chord. And then we have that riff again. We have a verse again. I guess really that's chorus. Intro. Okay, now we're to the solo. We're to Bob Weir's solo. So we're gonna have a C chord. So we went up to the 7th fret of the A, 5, 7, 5, and then we went up to the 9 of the A. That's 7 on the D and 6 on the B. Do that twice. And then we have this chord 5 and 8, 5 on the G, 8 on the B. Go to the 7, 8, and then have a couple more 7, 8s, hammer into the 9 on the G. That type of thing. And then we got the C again. And then you have that riff again. So this time it ends with 5, 7, 5, 4, 8. One more time on Bob Weir's solo. Okay, now we're on Jerry Garcia solo. So that's the first half of it. We got 13, 15, 15. And it's kind of like a half step bend and then a whole step bend. And then 13, 12, 11. Bend the 12 on the G. And then we got. So once again, we got. So we got up and down on the 12 to the 10, 12 up to 13 on the second, and then we got the 10, 9 at the end, and we start again, second half. And then 13 down here. So you just watch for the certain notes going up and down. So that one's like a 12 bend, 13, and then a little half step coming down bend on this D string 12. So one more time on Jerry Garcia solo here we go. Then we're back to the intro. Okay, then we have a verse with C to D, F, and then got the G. So you can do a variety of different fills to accommodate that D chord there, right? So then here we're gonna go 12 into 10s, and then 9s on those middle strings, and then that little riff again, 5, 7, 5, 4, 8. So once again, this is the chorus here. We got. Now we're going to start getting into a thing where we go. So we have C, dun da da dun, dun da da dun, and then B flat, straight to the F. So you'll see in the tab, it's like a measure of C, and then B flat and F share a measure. Then there's a whole measure of F, and then an F and C split a measure. So it's B flat to F, F, F to C. And at the very end, you're gonna go A7, you got the 2s with that 3 on the bottom, to a D, G7, C. So the last 4 chords, you got A7, D, that's that, and you know that notion just crossed my mind, right? G7 to C. All right, Casey Jones, Grateful Dead. Got 2 pages of tabs on that. Hope you dig this. We'll talk to y'all soon.